12s, we did it. Thank you for helping us reach our next milestone of 50,000 subscribers here on Seahawks Today. It's pretty remarkable. It was about 2 years ago I took over this channel when we were at 23,000, and we've more than doubled in that stretch. Later on this week, we will pay off accordingly and do a beer boot path here on the channel. And our next challenge is that we want to take down the Super Bowl champions. We are trying to get past the Chiefs report in subscribers, as they're just over 52,000 subscribers right now. I believe this offseason we're going to pass them up. So let's make it happen. Sub and join the family now here for the latest happenings on your favorite team. We got you covered each and every day here on Seahawks Today. Let's get started with today's show. The Seattle Seahawks have made multiple coaching staff additions over the last 48 hours. Let's catch up to speed on both those. Let's start at the assistant linebackers coach position, as Josh Bynes is coming to Seattle straight from the field where he was coached by Mike Macdonald with the Baltimore Ravens, as he was recently an active player as a linebacker for that Baltimore Ravens defense, and now makes the quick turnaround to be a coach. Let's tell you more about Josh Bynes. Spent 12 seasons as a linebacker in the National Football League, played under Mike Macdonald in Baltimore, but also played with the Detroit Lions, the Arizona Cardinals, the Cincinnati Bengals, and the Carolina Panthers. Also won a Super Bowl title as a player before. So although he's never been a coach before, that this would be his first coaching gig, his experience going from a former undrafted free agent to being a Super Bowl champion and spending over a decade in the league has turned into a pretty good resume. It was well respected by his teammates within the Baltimore Ravens organization. Specifically, Patrick Queen spoke very highly of Josh Bynes, and maybe that's a sign. Maybe Patrick Queen might be coming with to Seattle to join Bynes and Mike Macdonald. We've talked a lot about on this program of the man who is Mike Macdonald, and not just the X's and O's, right? Obviously, he's a brilliant football mind, but being the player's coach that he's perceived to be, of relating well to the guys around him. And when you bring in a guy like Bynes, who's fresh off the football field, who's never been a coach in his own right, to me that kind of goes back to what Mike Macdonald is, of somebody trying to relate well to your players with having a guy that's been there, done that. Now, there's a fine line you have to be a part of, right, when you look at a guy like Bynes, in that, yes, you can relate, but I'm still not your friend, I'm your coach. And that'll be the challenge that Bynes will have to approach next. And I'm not honestly worried about that. John Harbaugh spoke glowingly of Josh Bynes when he retired from the Baltimore Ravens recently. And John Harbaugh said the following about Bynes. What stands out to me is what an achiever Josh Bynes has been. I think he's an example that when you work hard and do the right things and treat people right and show up every day to do your best, a lot of great things can happen and you can surpass expectations. He's become a legendary player in our organization because he came back so many times. Just never gave up over the years. My grade on this, I'm going to go with a B just because the lack of coaching experience. But I love giving this guy a chance and seeing what he's made of. And obviously there's some trust there from Mike Macdonald to already make him a coach without being an intern or anything like that. What is your grade for this hiring of Josh Bynes to the Seahawks coaching staff? It's our pinned comment today. Weigh in, tell me what you think. A, B, C, D, or F. Weigh in the comment section and let us know. Today's show is sponsored by Prize Picks. Prize Picks, the place to go for daily fantasy made easy. Here's how it works. You choose 2 or more players on any given category. You get the choice of more or less with all sorts of different categories to choose from. Today, it is Daytona Day, everybody. Let's go racing. The Daytona 500, the great American race, got pushed back from Sunday due to rain. They will race later on this afternoon at the World Center of Racing. And here's what I got for you. I got Tyler Reddick to have more than 20.5 fantasy points. He won the dual race on Thursday night. So I think that's an incredible value there. How about Bubba Wallace? Bubba Wallace, he has done so well at restrictor plate tracks like Daytona over the years. He's finished second in the Daytona 500 twice. I got him having more than 45.5 fantasy points. Let's say I put $20 down, both these hit. We're making $60 on Prize Picks, folks. Play along with me. PrizePicks.com/CLNS, promo code CLNS for a $100 deposit match. The link is in the comments and description of today's video. Boogity, boogity, boogity. All right, let's talk about another hiring for the Seattle Seahawks, and that is Charles London, who comes over from the Tennessee Titans, where he served as the passing game coordinator and QB's coach. Now will be Seattle's QB's coach. London has spent a total of 10 seasons as an NFL offensive assistant, also 5 seasons as a college offensive assistant, most recently with Tennessee, and prior to that with the Atlanta Falcons. And now comes over to Seattle, where Geno Smith is there for now anyway, and we know about the possibility of bringing in a young quarterback. There's a challenge ahead for Charles London to train up this quarterback position and try to figure out what they're going to do, especially if it's a young quarterback, of putting them in a position to succeed going forward, right? You look at some of the guys he's worked with, and it's been an interesting mix of both veterans and young quarterbacks and guys that were in situations where they had to sit behind a veteran. You had Will Levis and Ryan Tannehill this past year in Tennessee, who we worked with. They started the year with Ryan Tannehill. Tannehill didn't look that good. Levis comes in, and Levis provided a spark of sorts for that Tennessee Titans offense compared to what they had under Tannehill. He was there for Matt Ryan's last year in Atlanta and also the start of Desmond Ritter's career. And although things kind of unraveled this year for Desmond Ridder, when Charles London was there, Ridder showed some signs, some steps in the right direction. He was at least off to a good start, but things kind of, fell apart after Charles London left. So the thing I like about Charles London is just who he's worked with, not just the quarterbacks, but think about the coaching staffs he's been under over the years. Arthur Smith, Mike Vrabel, Bill O'Brien, Matt Nagy. Say what you want about some of these guys, but all 4 of those guys are well respected among the league circles, right? I mean, you got a guy like Matt Nagy, who was just OC for the Chiefs Super Bowl this past year. You got Bill O'Brien, who spent many years in New England and was a part of some successful teams there with the Patriots and with the Houston Texans. Arthur Smith, one of the better offensive minds in football, and Mike Vrabel, who's well respected as a leader there. I look at those names, just the fact that you've earned the respect to work with those type of guys tells me that Charles London is well liked and that he's thought of in a high regard across the National Football League. What's your one-word reaction to the Seahawks hiring Charles London as their QB's coach? I think it's a solid hire. Is it a home run hire? Not necessarily, but it's not a bad hire. It's just a solid hire. Give me your one word. My one word is solid. Let us know in the comments section below. So to recap, here's what the Seahawks coaching staff looks like as of right now. You got Mike Macdonald as your head coach, Leslie Frazier as assistant head coach, Ryan Grubb as OC, Aiden Dirty as DC. By the way, he said just call him AD. When I think of that, I think of my guy Adrian Peterson all day. So maybe we're just going all day with Aiden Dirty. Jay Harbaugh comes in as special teams coordinator, the best special teams coordinator in college football. That might be my favorite hiring of them all. Charles London at quarterback coach, Frisman Jackson at wide receiver coach, Jake Peets as passing game coordinator, Kirk Olivadotti as linebacker coach, Scott Huff as O-line coach, and then Carl Scott as defensive assistant, Devin Fitzsimmons as special teams assistant, and then Josh Bynes, who we told you about at the beginning of the show, as assistant linebacker coach. Overall, as the coaching staff is mostly filled up to this point, I like this staff. I think that Mike Macdonald has done a really good job of a mix of people that he trusts, that he knows well, people with experience, and also some up-and-comers, risers in the coaching ranks, like the likes of Jay Harbaugh and Ryan Grubb and others. Overall, he's done a fantastic job. I like that you're getting a fresh start with this group as we bring on this next era of Seahawk football. The John Schneider let Mike Macdonald do his thing and find the guys he likes. So to me, it's all a step in the right direction. Appreciate you joining us here on Seahawks Today for the latest happenings on your favorite team all off season long. Subscribe now for free. Appreciate you helping us get to 50,000 subs on the channel. Lock us in. We'll see you next time.